This week, special guest co-host JennyLynn is here with us from Vintage Cigar Lounge. We're going to do kind of like a smorgasbord segment. That's probably the wrong name for it. But we're just going to talk about a bunch of topics in the first segment, including Las Vegas Cigar Lounges, cleaning your lighter to get off the poopery. It's a long story. I'll get there. And getting your lighters through TSA. After that, we're going to go through our Stogies of the week, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This is a Security Weekly production. Broadcasting live from Villiger North American Studios, it's the show where cigars burn slow, ashes fall fast, and cocktails flow steady. It's the Stogie Geeks Show. Hat tip, can we play that?
Yeah, one more time.
Can I hear a...
Yes!
Yeah!
Enjoy the dirt.
Guests and friends here in studio, including a regular cast of characters, Mr. Joe Hollywood to my right.
How are you?
That's awesome. Joe D's here. Rain Man's here. What's going on, Joe D?
Roundtable discussions.
Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo.
Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geeks Show. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian. Excited to be here to sit around really and smoke cigars and talk. That's really the goal. Well, it's my goal for the shows, actually, because I really don't want to do anything else when we do Stogie Geeks, but just sit around and talk and smoke cigars.
I'm in.
And that's why we're here. That's good, because you are both on set with me. Joe Hollywood's here. Welcome, Joe.
How are you?
What's going on?
I'm good. Everything's good. Here we are.
Get in the swing of things now. You got your cigar.
Yeah, the microphone's on the wrong side of me.
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
It's so. I'll get over it.
You gotta.
I'm trying to figure it out.
You gotta do it with both hands to become ambidextrous.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with migrophones. You gotta put it on either side, and you'll become microphone ambidextrous.
I'm a little more fidgety than
usual. That's okay.
We're good.
JennyLynn's here with us. Welcome, JennyLynn, back to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Lovely. Now that I have a cocktail and a cigar.
That's right. That's it's how things get done.
I agree.
Right? We'll talk. Actually, my trip to Las Vegas, which was after IPCPR, wasn't for IPCPR. There was a lot of good discussions being had in the cigar lounge, which was nice. Which was surprisingly not crowded because it was a hacker convention, and I don't think people quite figured out what was going on because it's. I think this was the first year that was there. It might be. It might be in Caesars. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's talk about a cigar of the week, though. One of them. I pulled two. This was weird. I found these online. I believe these came out in 2009. It's the Partagas Benjamin Mendez Master Series. Did we decide that this was the Corona Gorda? I think this is the Corona Gorda size. It's a Cameroon wrapper. Did you happen to get the filler and binder?
Oh, I gave it to you.
Oh, you emailed it to me.
I emailed it to you.
I have that. That is coming up. Now, this was...
It's got some Nicaraguan in it, some Dominican. It's all good.
Something. It's got some
I don't know.
in the fillers.
It's all good. It's all good.
This cigar, when it first came out, was awesome. I don't know if you both smoked this when it first came out, but I remember Mr. J. Savannah Smoke Shop got them, and it's like, you got to try this Partagas. And I'm like, and I smoked it, and I was like, holy crap, that was probably before we had invented the Oasis rating, and they were Oasis at the time,
really?
For sure. So when I found these online, I'm like, I have to purchase them immediately because I remembered smoking them back in 2009. And this is the binder is a Connecticut Havana seed. The filler is Dominican Piloto Cubano and Nicaraguan Ometepe Ligero. A very nice review from Conhead out there. This actually comes in 5 sizes, and in 2009 it made the Cigar Aficionado's Top 25 list, and they've been limited to only 5,000 boxes, and they contain 18 cigars, of which my box of 18 is not quite 18 anymore. There's maybe 4 or 5 left in the box, so I'm not sure the story on these boxes, whether or not this was a regrowing of the crop from 09 and we're getting like the second series, or if these are actually boxes from 2009. My guess would be this is from a different crop, as they were so limited back then for an online retailer to have them and actually at a steep discount. I'm not sure what the story was. I probably should have reached out to the retailer and done that. But like I said, we just like to sit around and talk about cigars. If anyone knows the deal, please do write us and let us know. I can say this is a fantastic cigar, and I've enjoyed smoking them I'd say not as good as the box that I have as it was in 09. But pretty close. Pretty close.
It's so classic on the palate.
Yes, it is very classic flavors.
Very classic. I'm in. I like it.
Awesome.
I like it. So
that is our cigar of the week. We'll give some updates as we smoke it and attach a rating to it at the end of the show. So now we talked about IBCPR in the last show when I wasn't here. Mm-hmm. I was actually in Vegas. And JennyLynn, did you attend IBCPR this year? You didn't go this year.
No.
Okay.
Somebody
but you like IBCPR.
I love it.
Which is interesting because I talked to some people who didn't go because they're like, nah, I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I like seeing everyone. You get everybody that you're friends with all in one spot for one time of the year, you know?
Right.
So
has it gotten big enough where it's crazy?
Actually, they moved. They moved us from the Sands to a different center that's small.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's smaller. But do you find because there's so many people there, you don't get to spend the quality time that you would if you were to see them at a smaller venue or whatever?
Of course. Yeah.
That's what I find when I go to big.
It's super busy for sure, especially if you're the manufacturer. You know, you're making sales, you're busy and all that. Right. But I think it is just a great conglomerate of everybody just, that loves this.
Right,
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of retailers don't attend anymore. We were talking about that before the show because there are specials that you can get if you don't attend the show, which I believe that shouldn't be your incentive to go, right? I don't want my incentive to attend a trade show to be that I'm going to get deals, right?
No, but your incentive to go to a trade show is to see the new product.
Yes,
right?
I agree. Yeah. To talk to people, to make relationships, to continue existing business relationships, make new ones, understand what's new in the industry. That should be your incentive. I mean, that's why I go to trade shows both in this business and my computer security business too. It's one of the reasons, right?
Yeah.
So, I was in Las Vegas for the largest hacking conventions in the world.
I love it.
They're actually back to back and overlapping because I don't think a lot of people outside of the industry understand like what happens. We call it Hacker Summer Camp. The reason we call it Hacker Summer Camp is because there's actually 4 days of training as part of Black Hat. Immediately following that 4 days of training, or 2 days of Black Hat briefings, which are usually where security researchers will release like high-profile hacks. In other words, like someone hacked a Segway, people hack into cars and release their research at Black Hat, right? So that's pretty cool. So, and all of the vendors attend the trade show Black Hat, which is where I spent most of my time talking to security vendors. Then right after that is DEF CON. That's more of like the hacking conference.
I've heard of that.
Like 40,000 people this year, somewhere between there, attended, which is the most ever. And that was at Caesar's Palace, and that is the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, it starts kind of Thursday-ish, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Black Hat's at the Mandalay Bay. And then overlapping, so the last day of Black Hat training and the first day of Black Hat briefings is a conference called B-Sides Las Vegas, which is like, it started out as basically everyone whose talks didn't get accepted to the other conferences had a conference so they could give their talks. And it's very much a community event, and that happens overlapping. We stayed in that hotel where that conference was happening. So there's 3 conferences that happened at once in Vegas in the span of a week.
Which is your favorite?
They're all so different. I couldn't say that I had a favorite, and there are so many different events at each one of the conferences.
Oh, it's very...
So, like, I don't go there with, like, a favorite in mind. I go there, we have an agenda that's driven by largely what we want to accomplish and by our media presence there, right? Kind of defines what... Because we're different. We're not in the IPCPR sense, right? We would attend as Stogie Geeks as media.
Yeah.
Our agenda is going to be different from a retailer or manufacturer. So... I like to go and meet with people in the various venues. There's a lot. I mean, there was a whole, at DEF CON, they hacked a voting machine. Like, there was that kind of stuff going on.
Wow.
And they have different...
Do they display it or, like...
They actually had to get... The story was they had to get permission from, like, Congress had to make some kind of exception, I believe, in that case to be able to do that. There was some... and one of my friends, Katie, knows way more about this than I do, and I wasn't prepared to talk about it. Something about the Wassenaar arrangement, and there had to be an exception. And actually, a Rhode Island congressman, Jim Langevin, actually got involved in helping that happen and was in attendance at DEF CON, which was pretty cool, which was held at Caesar's Palace. And the B-Sides is at Tuscany. So just to geographically put that out, we stayed at Tuscany, which is, I mean, it's a lot closer to Caesar's than it is Mandalay Bay. I discovered Uber and Lyft, which if you're going to get around Vegas, holy crap, that is the way to go. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Did they successfully hack into the machine?
They did, like, more than one way.
Really?
Yeah.
Quick?
Like within the first 15 minutes. Yeah.
Wow. So they had this. That's awesome.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. It got a lot of press.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I mean, that's interesting.
That's actually kind of scary, but
It is very scary. A lot of scary things happen.
It's a new world.
I know.
If you start to view some of Paul's other podcasts, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
they can do that. Like it's like
But
because
no,
I'm so I don't want to say I'm not technical, but I'm not technical. You know what I mean? Like
Not technical in the sense that he is.
Like I'm technical enough to navigate a business. I use QuickBooks. I'm technical.
Yep.
But like the stuff they talk about, and I'm like, why would you even want to hack into it? Well, you can. Like,
Yeah.
But you
know what I
can't
mean?
because it's there, right? So,
Crazy.
to tie that back to cigars, and people are like, oh my God, why is he talking about security in the cigar podcast? Because Black Hat was at Caesar's Palace for, God, it's got to be over 10 years. They were at Caesar's every year. And everyone would go to Casa Fuente. So I got to find very quickly the sub-circle of friends that were in security that enjoyed cigars, and there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of loyalty to Casa Fuente because you walk through the forum shops and it's right there. So we would be out there for training. I can't tell you how many awesome meetings and business meetings and just fun meetings I've had with my security friends over the years because Casa Fuente was right there. We walked through the forum shops and everyone's there and we're having a good time, drinking mojitos and having cigars. And it's kind of interesting. My friends that weren't cigar smokers ended up coming with us because the mojitos were so good. That's how good of a drink they have. Non-cigar smokers would sit with us for the conversation and to have a mojito, but not have a cigar.
Agreed.
And the Tangerine Mojito is my favorite. I don't know what they do in that drink, but it is just probably one of the best cocktails in Vegas and one of the best pairing drinks, I think, with a cigar. So if you're in Vegas, get there. And not just for the cigars they have there, which I did pick up some that are resting in my humidor. There's some special Opus X ones that they always have something special there that I've never seen before, Joe. So
when's the next time I'm covering the show?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't buy 3 of everything. I bought 2 of everything because they're like $80 or $90 a stick for some of those special ones. Wow. So we'll have to kind of pick and choose and divvy up who's going to smoke what. But and I don't know how good they're going to be. It varies.
Sure.
Right.
Totally.
So I did pick up some special stuff there. They had Don Carlos Lanceros. I got 2 of them, which is just probably one of the best cigars in the world I've ever smoked, if you can find them. And I had to ask for them. Like they weren't in display when I walked in the humidor. I was checking out. And I asked the person if they had any Don Carlos Lanceros, and they're both like, no, we don't. Then they actually came up to me later, waited for me to finish my conversation that I was having with someone, and said, I have 2 available, would you like them? Which I thought was really nice of them to take the time and do that. And they weren't like outrageously expensive. They weren't like $100 a cigar, even though I probably would have paid $100 a cigar for Don Carlos Lanceros. I don't know if you ever had one, either of you.
I haven't, but I've heard about them.
I've heard of it. To me, that's like the unicorn.
Yeah, it's one of the unicorns out there for sure.
It's definitely one of those,
Yes.
And if it's anything like
the Don Carlos blend is awesome.
It's amazing.
Right?
And, so if it's anything like that, I can only imagine. So.
And the other thing that's fun, too, is some folks that are a mutual friend wanted to meet us there. They wanted to have a cigar with us, and they asked for, a lot of times, my help in the humidor, right? Which I think that the staff has kind of mixed feelings about it. Because I preface, I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to do your job. But like, my friends want my help. Like, I'm going to get them something expensive, don't worry. Right? So,
if I have one of you come in my store, I'm like, go ahead. I'll stand in the corner.
Yeah.
I like it when the humidor girl presses the code, the secret code, right?
Yes.
Have at it. It's like, finally, thank you. Thank you for not following me around with a sticky note.
Right.
A sticky note?
Well, some places, some places
A
they go
sticky note?
because the point of purchase is like a 3-digit code or 4-digit code.
Yeah, why don't they know that?
No, but like the drives me nuts because I like to shop. Like even I've been in your humidor.
Did a girl follow you in with a sticky note?
No,
that's right. She did it.
She got it right. She got it right.
She knows.
She presses the code and she goes,
right.
"Have at it."
No, she does not.
No, for me she did.
Oh, well, because she knows.
But now, JennyLynn, you've worked at Casa Fuente, right?
Yes.
The level, like the majority of people that walk into that humidor are really looking for help. right?
They
want
any
help.
humidor. It doesn't matter where you work.
Yeah.
They don't know. I mean, not everyone, but the majority.
I think it's like a Vegas thing. Like I'm walking around shopping and I just happen to see a cigar lounge. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm in Vegas. Like I don't know.
I want a cigar.
I smoke 1 or 2 cigars a year. Like I'll stop and have a cigar because I'm on vacation. It's Vegas.
Sure.
I've been walking for miles just to like get
It's
to my
hot.
room.
Yeah.
To break.
Well, no, it's
hot.
indoors, yeah.
It's indoor, but
Yeah. I'm carrying all my wife's bags.
Yeah, you want a cold alcoholic adult beverage, and
Refreshing.
a cigar. Yeah,
Mojito.
And so I think that's why, and it's great to catch up with friends in Casa Fuente. The staff there was phenomenal; they were fantastic, and the drinks were good. So I like the experience. It's changed over the years. They get that big wall next to it now, and there's a fountain in yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's different now. So, so that was fun. Now. The other thing is, so the conferences swapped. Like Black Hat moved to Mandalay Bay, but there was still a contingency that would make the trip from Mandalay Bay to Caesars, which I tell you what, on a weekend night, that can be an adventure just getting from, because it's like from one end of the strip to the other.
It's giant. Yeah.
And on a weekend, I mean, you used to live in Vegas, right? You don't want to go near the strip on a Friday or Saturday night. It's just...
If
awful.
you don't want to go
It's
there,
awful.
even when you work there.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But people still do, which I think is
of
pretty
course.
cool. And I saw a lot of mutual friends. Now, the new one. So Black Hat moves to Mandalay Bay. DEF CON gets large enough to move into Caesar's Palace to have more space. Now it's interesting when you have 30, 40,000 people at a conference and the escalator breaks the first day. Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with Caesars, but you have to take an escalator to go up the main entryway to where the conferences are held. There's escalators, and one of them was broken, like during the first day of like ticket sales and stuff. Yeah. It was, the reports I was getting back were really bad. They did fix it eventually and they had to open up more entries and exits inside of Caesars to make that happen.
That's insane.
Because I was like, oh, we can navigate and go this way, and because the pool area goes, because I've been there so many damn years for conferences, right? And so I had heard, I actually saw Skip Martin and I talked to others in the cigar industry that said there's a Monte Cristo's inside of Caesars. So I actually allotted for time on both days I was there to go there, take time away from my booth, and just go hang out with people on a more personal, one-on-one kind of level. And the things I like about Monte Cristo's are it's a much bigger space than any other lounge I've been to in Vegas, certainly. It's a nice size space. And the drinks are really good. Probably, I mean, not as good as the Tangerine Mojito, but they make an old-fashioned in there at Monte Cristo's. It's really, really good. You can also order food, like picky food, like chips and like a charcuterie board and stuff like that, which I liked because getting food at a conference can be difficult at times. Like you wait in line for 2 hours. I'm like, I'll be at the lounge. Thank you very much. Like bring over 2 charcuterie boards for me. That'll be my lunch. Like that's fine. So I thought that was really cool to have food there as well. Being a Monte Cristo lounge, and I'm going to get this wrong, but like Casa de Monte Cristo in Chicago, right, is the big Monte Cristo lounge. I think it's just like a buy-in that you have with them, and you carry mostly...
like any
lounge.
Like
any lounge, right? Mm-hmm. So they carry mostly like Monte Cristo and all of the brands under General or Altadis, whichever one that is.
But I'm sure they carry other.
Altadis. I'm sorry, it's Altadis. Yeah. So they carry mostly Altadis. So H. Upmann... I had some of the H. Upmanns that were really good.
La Parnaga, I love those.
I didn't see those there.
That is my favorite.
And I haven't smoked non-Cuban La Parnaga.
That is my favorite Altadis.
Really?
Is La Parnaga. I like it. I mean, I like the Monte Cristo Platinum as well, but like I don't know. I just
something about it.
That's need some lying around. Go great in the golf bag.
There's one with a black band, and I'll cover it on an upcoming show. That I believe is specific to the Monte Cristo lounges. In the Robusto size, that was really good. That was probably my pick from there. I actually didn't travel with that many cigars, to and from on this trip, because I thought my time was going to be limited having cigars. It turns out I rearranged my schedule so that I had more time. Funny how that works.
I know.
So I was like, that place is great.
I do that on a daily basis, right?
Well, the first day, I spent the majority of the day at the booth. And then the people I spoke with were like, well, I want to sit down. Like, I want career advice, or I want to catch up with you on this, or I want to talk with you about that. So I end up telling people, look, all right, starting at, I don't know, noontime, I think is when I did it. Like, I'll be at the Monte Cristos, like, let's meet there. And it wasn't crowded. It was a break away from everyone. And I basically spent the afternoon there and met with different people. And some people just, like, by osmosis, were just there. They're like, oh, hey, Paul, how you, like, I listened to your show. I'm like, yeah, come join us. And we had, like, our own little, like, mini conference.
That's cool.
Inside of the conference at Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge. And I couldn't have picked a better place to do it. We basically sat there all afternoon and smoked cigars.
Are you going there next year?
Yes.
Yeah, and we go every year.
You should talk to him about a hospitality sponsor.
Wheels are in motion.
You know what I mean? You
Get in there.
But now this is how cigars have impacted, a non-cigar industry. Where like, we should do this every year. We should make it an event. We should rent the place out. We should get a sponsor. So that's where we're going to work on that.
That's awesome.
For next year,
Yes.
which I thought was really cool. So that lounge was great for all of those reasons. What else do I want to talk about? All right. So when you go to Vegas, make sure you go there. So traveling. Getting your lighter through TSA, I should have brought the device. I'll put a link in the show notes for it. But Calibri makes a device. It's this metal capsule. It looks like a gigantic pill, and it's bright yellow. And it's like says right on there, like approved for transport
TSA,
and TCA and
Mm-hmm.
airplanes. Now, there's been some speculation as to whether or not it's officially approved for that. But knowing I was going to Vegas and knowing that if I don't bring my lighter, it's just bad when you're out somewhere and you have to light a cigar, touch up a cigar, and you don't have a friggin' lighter. It's just the most annoying thing in the world. So I put my lighter in this yellow capsule. I used one of those like cheap or free. I don't know who makes them. It might be Lotus that makes them. I'm not sure the manufacturer, but they get branded by various cigar companies. You have one that's from La Aurora, right?
Yes.
And it's white. Mine happens to be black. Yeah.
Yep.
They're just like little plastic lighters. They hold a fair amount of fluid.
Yep.
And, I think mine came with like the blending kit that I had bought from La
That
Aurora.
one came from the blending kit.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah. So like it came with a kit. So I'm like, great. I stuffed that in the capsule.
And these either work or they don't, and you find out in 2 days.
I gotcha.
This one's 9. When you gave me the blending kit, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So this is about 6 months old.
And it works
then
great, right?
I've had a couple other friends in the industry who gave me their branded lighter, and it's been 2 days. So they either really work or they don't. And so test it before you travel and make sure that you're good. That's a good disclaimer right there, because I've actually gotten a few and they just didn't
Maybe
work.
they just need to be adjusted. I say all lighters have attitudes and they all need to be adjusted.
That's true. No, that's true.
100% true.
I make a good segment.
So you can buy this capsule on Amazon, and it worked for me this trip. I'm not saying that they're not going to take it if they find it, because you're not supposed to be able to put a butane torch lighter in your checked bag or your carry-on.
See, I didn't know that. I thought checked bag was okay.
No,
Yeah, I thought
and
it was checked bag.
That's a
It was
popular
okay.
misconception.
And I always do. And
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe sometimes it does get stolen. I don't even know.
You might have
That's
just
how
been
good
lucky.
the vacation is.
If you're talking about traveling, just so you know the 80 the travel case 80 size. I have it there. I travel with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It fits. If you take out the sponges,
Always.
it fits a bottle of Jaeger perfectly.
Jaeger? You want to take Jaeger to wherever the heck you're going?
Yes, I'm old school. Sometimes I get.
You love
rowdy.
that deer blood.
I do. Right? It fits it like it's a perfect, and then you can wrap it around, and then you go out, and then when you come home, you fill up the cigar. True story.
That's smart.
Well, that's true. I always end up with more cigars coming home. Than
you always
I went
do.
out there with,
Especially
so that's a good point.
geographically, but anyway,
Interesting.
I digress.
Where was I going with that?
No, we were going. I'm sorry. We're going with the check luggage.
You can't put a butane torch lighter in. If
But you can put Jaeger.
Because
Liquids are okay in check bags.
I've honestly, where I was going with this was, I put in the Jaeger and the torch lighter and the Zycar cut all right in checked luggage. And
So I went to Baltimore once, and they took 2 of my torch lighters right out,
Really?
left the thing, and there is no way to get them back. They're gone forever.
I know.
Yep.
They're gone.
No.
Someone's using them. They're selling them online. They're destroying them. I've heard all kinds of stories about what they do with them, because I'm like, what do they do with all that stuff?
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I had thought it was okay up until that point. So, Lord, by my mistake, take a cheaper lighter, put it in the big Calibri pill, and you should be good. So, Now,
like it.
Speaking of lighters, the other thing that happened to my favorite, which happens to be a Calibri lighter that has the lighter and cutter. Like, I wish I could travel with this, right? Because this is
super
awesome.
compact, yeah.
Because it has, I don't know if we can zoom in on that. It has a lighter and a cutter, like, all in one, right? And a couple of people may have heard me talk about this in the past. It's super convenient to keep in your pocket. It's worked well for me for over a year now, I believe. And it was in my pocket, and someone had given me a bottle of Poo Pourri. Do you know what Poo Pourri is?
No.
Yes, I do, sir.
It is that air freshener type stuff. And the way it goes is before you go in the bathroom to go poo, you're supposed to spray this in the water before. Then it's supposed to not smell or mask the smell of, your business
Stuff.
So
I don't know. Women don't do that.
That's very true.
It's very true. I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
this is for men only.
I know sometimes.
Men only.
I know it's not as frequent.
But I just stuck it in my pocket so I wouldn't forget it, and it leaked, which I don't recommend this to anyone because I had my lighter in my pocket.
The microphone.
I'm fixing it for you, honey.
Thank you. Thank you.
It got Poo Pourri all in my lighter and my cutter all in one fell swoop. Also leaked through my shorts and gave me a...
While you
What
want
does
to
it
travel?
smell like?
It smells like an air freshener, like a standard air freshener.
Like you were
It's not-
carrying a tree in your pocket?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait a minute. This was on travel?
No, this is when I got back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, but I also had a small chemical burn. I actually had to change, and because it was like burning my leg.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it was bad.
ridiculous.
It was bad. Luckily,
Wow.
I caught it in time.
How did
like,
it
why does my
explode?
leg hurt, and why does it smell like an air freshener?
It's bad. That stuff.
That's scary.
One little spritz or two,
It's
the
strong,
you're supposed
yeah.
to do is strong.
It's strong.
It's supposed to overbear. But
Really?
I could imagine you must have really stunk.
Is
did.
it
I
before or
stunk
after when you do your business?
It's before.
It's
You
right
spray
before,
before.
you go. You go.
What do you do?
Does it actually work?
Not for him.
No, it doesn't work. It does not work.
Maybe you should go.
Maybe you should just unscrew it.
Yeah, there you go.
It could. Yeah, that might work better. So I had to clean my lighter, which I don't. I'm really bad at cleaning my lighter. I'm not very diligent about making sure my lighters and cutters are clean. But I got some alcohol swab pads, and after I rubbed down the whole lighter 4 or 5 times, it doesn't smell like poopery anymore, and it still works, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
So props. I mean, that's an endorsement free endorsement for Calibri.
Yeah.
You can douse this with heinous poopery, and it will survive. Thankfully, it has the the cover on the top to cover the flame portion. And I just kind of worked the alcohol swab and around all the blades. Open, close them, just clean them really, which you should do on a regular basis anyway. Because when it gets gummed up, it's not going to cut as well. So this cutter works a lot better, and my lighter's nice and perfectly clean and sanitized now for whatever that's worth, and it still works. So
That's awesome.
lighter and cutter maintenance, alcohol swabs work great.
And for lounges too.
Gotta
Swab those cutters.
yes,
Seriously.
because they're getting more
Because
use.
people sometimes, how they lick the outside and then they cut it with the house cutter, and then you're like, oh my God. And then you have to go back and cut it, or cut somebody else's, and then you're like, oh my God, I need to wipe this down immediately.
That's true, because I do wet the end of my cigar with saliva, and then I cut it. I never thought about how we share cutters.
Never thought about the next guy.
Oh my God, I don't use house cutters. It's either my cutter, or I'm biting it, or I'm putting my fingernail in it. No, I'm not using it because I don't know what I
It's
use
like the
my
remote-
house cutters because I clean them. But
Yes.
no,
It's like the remote at the
Yes.
hotel room. That's
Yes.
the dirtiest thing in in your hotel room
Yes.
is your remote, because it never
Yeah.
gets cleaned.
And then you're just-
and everyone
yeah.
touches it after they come out of the bathroom.
yes,
It's bad,
Yes.
dude. Just read the
that don't
it's
use
bad.
poopery.
Don't use poopery.
Don't wipe.
Right.
When they-
And they're touching the remote. I never thought of a cutter as the same
oh yeah,
kind of thing. That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, in your own personal cutters, it's important that they work well to clean them. So alcohol swabs are awesome for that. You could probably dab the top of your jet flames with, the alcohol swab or some kind of instrument, and just kind of, because alcohol evaporates, so it's totally safe to use I mean, I wouldn't dunk it in alcohol, right? But
you can use the compressed air cans.
Yep, and then a compressed air can.
Yeah.
We actually have a compressor here because it was cheaper between maintaining computers and audio equipment and lighters. It's actually cheaper to have a compressor. Because those cans of air get expensive.
100%.
So we use the actual compressor and get all the gunk out of the flame so it lights every time. So and this one's been working better since I cleaned it.
Since it got a wipe.
It got a wipe.
Yeah. How did it explode? You still never...
I don't know. It just leaked. I don't know. Like the cap wasn't on tight.
I'm still waiting.
I don't know. He got a little excited.
I don't know. It's a good question. I think maybe
your cutter or that cut into it or something.
Could have been.
What kind of bag does it come in? Poopery.
It comes in like a spray bottle. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a spray
It's
bottle.
a little bottle. It's probably yay big.
Oh.
That's why I just kind of shoved it in my pocket so I wouldn't forget it.
That's weird.
Plus, my kids were with me too, so I didn't want to put it down and have them start, like spraying it in their mouth because they totally would have done that.
Like it's cough syrup or something?
Yeah, or just, kids are curious. They just, I
They
wonder
put
what
it
this
in their
tastes
mouth
like.
first?
Yeah.
Oh, just put this in my mouth.
I don't know. I don't have children. I don't know that.
So, yeah, that was all I had on cleaning there is a segment out there that we did a long time ago on maintaining your lighter. Properly bleeding the air out of it also is important, which we do in all the lighters here in the studio when we think of it. We'll get on a more regular schedule for that.
Yeah, I did one of the shows I covered for you, and some Stogie Geek listener, his name's Wesley, he gave me some good advice because I was complaining about how lighters never last for me more than a month. So
your pocket lint.
What?
Your pocket lint gets in it.
Well, yeah,
or you don't bleed it before you.
But and then he said, actually, do you light one of the things he emailed me? He said, do you light a cigar after you fill a butane? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. It's empty, so I usually
fill it.
I fill it up and then light it. And he's like, yeah. He goes, if you wait like 4 minutes because it's a cold butane and the seals. Mm-hmm. Totally makes a difference.
It's like
amazing.
putting dry ice inside of something really, really small.
Right.
And if you put it in your palm and you warm it before you light it, then it will light immediately.
Yeah, he gave me that advice, and ever since then, my lighter's been lasting longer.
Oh, so the fluid lasts longer?
No. The lighter itself will last longer because the seals. What happens is when you put the CO2 in. It's,
you mean the butane?
The CO2, right?
What are you doing?
The butane, right?
I put butane in my paintball gun.
Awesome. It's like a dry ice effect, you know what I mean? And then when you go to light it, it's obviously it goes cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot.
So it sputters.
And so it sputters.
I see, yep.
So if you wait like 4 minutes, that's what he said. He said just
if you put it in your hand, it'll go quicker.
And warm it up.
Yeah.
And then it's just seemed to work. Like every lighter I've had
works better since you
works better because I was going through a stint and I was I was gifted like a Zycar lighter. You know what I mean? It's not like they were giving me the El Cheapos. And I'm like, how can this $74 lighter just last me a month? Like, I don't get it.
Do you have all the ones that you think are broken?
Oh, I have.
Give them to me.
No, oh yeah.
I will fix them.
I have 2 at Havana.
Okay.
One.
I'll fix them.
I have 1 at Regency, and I'm still waiting for Zycar to send them back to me.
Oh. Well, I can fix the ones you think are broken.
I've been waiting a long time. I just,
What I do is I'll take... and we have
I've been waiting for over a year for that one. But
sorry.
anyway.
If I have 3...
I'll get you a new lighter.
You can go down and buy a new lighter from Jenny.
Yes, you can come to Vintage Cigar Lounge in Westerly and we will sell you a nice lighter.
Do you have a sparkly one like this?
No,
that's a cutter.
That's a cutter.
I know it's a cutter. Oh, my God.
And do you really want to be blinged out like a...
Yeah. Dude, it's kind of rock star. I'm
so now you have to show the audience that...
Oh, no, that's not mine. It's not mine. I don't
you can show. Go ahead. Show and tell.
You show.
Show and tell.
It's like 2 against 1. I'm in the crossfire over here. I'm just going to shut up and smoke my cigar. I'll be all right. Look at that.
See it?
Here, let me see.
They'll zoom it in on
They
Paul.
only have a camera on me today.
Only
a single.
you.
I get the only single shot. Wow, that is really blingy.
Dude,
it is.
It's like my watch.
Oh, you do like that.
I love bling.
I think our production people fell asleep.
If I wait,
what did you do to them before?
I did.
Oh no, there it is. There
we go. It's very blingy. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know Zycar made one with the.
Well, that was years ago.
Are those real diamonds? No.
Yes.
Yes.
They are.
Oh, they're like little diamond chips. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is killer.
The lighter's probably worth more than my car. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, my watch is worth more than my car, so. You know,
is it? Is that real?
Yeah, it's real. It's. Yeah.
Can I borrow it for a second? Can I try it on?
It's awesome.
I'm just kidding. I won't give it back.
Oh boy. So what was it? What I do is I have like 3 or 4 different lighters that I'm going to fill, usually all at the same time. And what I'll do is I'll bleed the first one, fill it up, and then I'll leave it alone, and I'll just kind of work my way down the line, and then I'll go back to the first one and see if it lights. And usually about 4 minutes has transpired by the time I, bleed and fill all the lighters. That's how I'll do it here in the studio. So
it was amazing because, like I said, the Stogie Geeks listener asked me a question. He goes, "Do you light it right away?" I'm like, "Of course I do." He's like, "Don't."
Of course I do.
Of course I do. It's out of butane. I want
to light. Yeah, I agree. I'm not knocking you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. So, with that, we're going to take a short break, come back, talk about our Stogies of the week. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.